be honest, I was never a big fan of Forza. I always respected it and tried some of the games and liked them even, but I was never quite able to get into them like most people were. But something about Forza Horizon 6 just felt different. Despite what I just led with, I weirdly felt excitement for this game. Maybe it's the fact that it's in Japan, which is what people have been waiting for so long. Maybe it's the fact that when you think about it, Forza is kind of Xbox's most consistent franchise when it comes to quality. I don't know what it is, but after playing Forza Horizon 6, it is damn good. Let's talk about it. Hi guys, MiiKcast here, reviewing today Forza Horizon 6. Now before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell, leave a comment, or I will run over you. So the first thing I want to say in the good is the visuals. Usually I save that for later on in this segment, or maybe in the bad if it ends up being bad. But my god, Forza Horizon 6 has to be, and I mean this, one of the best looking games ever. I don't say that lightly. I thought that about Alan Wake 2, I thought that about Hellblade 2, and I'm not sure if this beats out those two, but it sits comfortably with them. And it makes sense. Forza is a racing game, but also more of like a racing sim. It's trying to be realistic, and my god, it looks realistic, but in a good way. Sometimes that's not a good thing, but it's a good thing here. And it's truly next gen. Little things like driving around in puddles of water, which then creates an effect where little drops of water take over the camera, not in like an obstructive way, but in a way that adds to the realism, and also only seems possible on the current gen of hardware. The little particle effects like that, or like the rose petals, since, you know, we're in Japan, a lot of games have this stuff now, and it's not as impressive as it would have been earlier in the gen for a lot of games, but it's fucking impressive in Forza. But to move on from the visuals, the gameplay is solid too. Again, I was never a big Forza guy, so I can't quite tell you how this compares to other games in the series. But what I can tell you is Forza Horizon 6 controls really damn well. It has the realism that you are accustomed to in Forza. I know that at least. You can go super fucking fast, but you need to control it. If you lose control, you get set back a lot. But it's still a lot of fun doing races or time attacks, or just driving around the open world. And if you are bad, like me, there's Rewind. I'm just gonna let you know now, I am very bad at these games, so you might see me use a lot of Rewind in the gameplay footage that I'm showing. But it's a great feature that does help the Forza games stand out. It often feels like Rewind never brings you to the point you want it to bring you to, but the fact that it's here in the first place makes bad players like me feel like I'm actually not that bad. What are you talking about? And since this game is about cars, Forza Horizon 6 has cars. A lot of them. Upwards to like 500 in fact. From all different companies, all different models, all different colors. You can customize your color, download other customizations, customize your own license plate, as I tried to make mine say subscribe, but it couldn't fully fit the word, so it just says subscribe. But now during my gameplay footage, you have a constant reminder to subscribe to the channel. What's cool is you get recommended what car to use depending on the race. If you are in a speed race, you get recommended like a faster car. If you are in a race that involves a lot of off-roading, you get recommended like a pickup truck. Little things like that I find really cool. I personally didn't notice much else of a difference when using different cars, but the variety on display is still crazy. But then, the elephant in the room. Forza has always nailed the open world, and Forza Horizon 6 is no different. Especially this time around, since after long-time fan demand, we are headed to Japan. Even as someone who never really got into the series before, when I heard they were going to Japan for this game, even I thought that sounded really cool. And after playing it, yeah, it's really fucking cool. Japan is a great setting to just aimlessly drive around in. I mentioned the rose petals looked really good earlier, but it's the little things like that that really add to the setting. You can just drive around the country of Japan and see the busy streets of Tokyo, for example, and it just looks really cool. Plus, from what I've heard from people who are more familiar with this kind of stuff, it nails the Japanese culture with how the game represents it. But the open world is really why you come to play a Forza game. There is a lot of racing in this game, sure, but you stay to see how well the game adapts whatever region it shows as its setting. And I cannot say it enough, Forza Horizon 6 nails the Japan setting. And more so, you race against a fucking mech. I'm not kidding. You actually do that. It's funny because these games mainly go for realism. But since we're in Japan, I guess you race against a Mobile Suit Gundam. Yet despite that, it doesn't feel out of place. Not to mention, the music is great. It's mainly licensed music you hear from the radio, but it's great. I don't really have much to say on that, aside from what I just said, but it works really well. I also gotta give it up for the accessibility options for this game. It's not something I normally look into, and not something I even ever bring up in my reviews, but I just remember Forza always getting awards for its accessibility options, and seeing prior games having things like a sign language mode, which is crazy. So I took a look at the options for Forza Horizon 6, and yup, it's a damn good selection. I think it's safe to say Forza wins the award again. And lastly, just the overall scope and size of the game, Forza Horizon 6 is massive, and there's too much to do. I haven't even done it all. You got an amazing game on your hands with this one. Moving on to the mixed, first is the story. There is a story, but is there really? You get introduced to characters like May and Jordan, who kind of act as your guides to sort of tell you things, especially May. She's like the one you hear from the most, but the story isn't much. It's in the mix because you don't come to a Forza game for the story, but it's there, and it's kind of just whatever. Another thing is something this game calls the estate, in that you get to buy houses and whatnot. This game introduced me to this, but then I rarely, if ever, needed it. It's just sorta something that's there, and that's about it. I wonder how other people feel about the estate. Maybe there was more to it that I didn't take advantage of, but I don't know. And lastly, I mentioned this earlier, but Forza is not really a DPX series of games. Now, does that mean I don't like this game? No, does not mean that at all, but it does mean that I won't get as much out of this game as someone who is more of a Forza fan. This game has been getting rave reviews because it seems to be the Forza Horizon game people have been wanting forever, and that's great, but that's something I can't quite relate to, so keep that in mind. Moving on to the bad, there's a couple things. One is some of the load times. It's not always that bad, and it often gives you something nice to look at when the game is loading. But I mainly noticed the load times were a bit slow during like what the game calls Horizon Festival. When you do some races for that, it can be a bit slow to load into or out of that. And the second thing is the customization options are pretty lame. I know I mentioned in the good that I liked customizing my car, but it's not as good or robust as it should be. But even aside from that, I'm mainly thinking about the character creator. I think it's really cool that you can add prosthetics and hearing aids to your character. That is genuinely a level of customization and accessibility that more games should do. But that's really it. You can't even give your character facial hair. And I never really liked how my guy looked. And you rarely even see your character, which makes this less annoying, sure, but then why have it at all? Overall, Forza Horizon 6 is so good, it got me, who doesn't connect with these kinds of games, connecting with it. The issues I mentioned were very small. Really, this game is just beautiful, the gameplay and controls is top-notch, the open world is massive and amazing, and the Japan setting is a perfect one. The only thing holding it back for me is really just the fact that it's not much my type of game. I can't quite give it a 10 out of 10 because I feel I'd be lying to you guys and also myself. So in other words, the only real problem with this game is me. So it doesn't get a 10, but I will settle with giving Forza Horizon 6 a 9.5 out of 10. Again, like, I'm basically telling you it's a 10 out of 10 without giving it a 10. This game is gonna end up probably ranking among one of my favorite games of the year. Anyways, that was my review for Forza Horizon 6. What do you guys think about the game? Do you guys like the game, not like the game? Have you guys played it, not played it? If you haven't played it, do you guys want to play it, not want to play it? Anything about the game, let me know down below. Anyways, if you like the video, come subscribe or I will run you over.